Assalamu alaikum, parents and students. Welcome to another week of distance learning. Please make sure when you log into your Microsoft Teams that you go to the correct channel. And today we are doing math, so we'll go to the math channel. Then we will go to our files and we are clicking on week 9 files. When you enter the week 9 files, you will find the attached online learning lesson plan. You will find the PowerPoint, the worksheet, as well as the answer key for self-assessment. Please make sure you open up the attached online learning lesson plan. In it, you will find the lesson overview, the success criteria, learning steps and assignments, as well as helpful resources like links to websites or pages of the book. So let's begin our presentation for today. Today we'll be talking about area. We are going to understand area. Here's our learning intention. Learners should be able to explore perimeter and area as attributes of polygons. And our success criteria is, first, I can define the area. Next, I can find the area in a 2D shape using squares. And finally, I can find the area in word problems. Here is our lesson vocabulary. We have two terms we need to know. The first one is area, and the second one is unit square. Let's begin first by comparing surfaces. Let's think a little bit. Which book needs more space? Let's look at these books. Now here we have an atlas, and here we have just a regular sized book. Which book needs more space? If you said the atlas, then you are correct. The atlas needs more space because it has a bigger surface, and we can see that. The atlas has a bigger surface than this little book over here. Let's take a look at this example. Which shape needs more space? Let's look at these rectangles. Here's a yellow one and here's a pink one. Which one needs more space? If you said the yellow one, then you are correct. The yellow one needs more space. Now let's look over here and compare these objects. Which object needs more space? Here we have a blackboard and here we have a student's desk. Which one needs more space? If you said blackboard, then you are correct. Now, the amount of surface covered by the blackboard is called the area. Okay, so the amount of surface that this blackboard is taking is called the area. Now, what is area? Area is the number of unit squares needed to cover a flat surface. And you can see over here, the area of this shape is 9 square units. And I can tell because there's 9 unit squares to cover this surface. And over here, my number of unit squares is 11. So the area over here is 11 square units to cover this flat surface. Now, what is a unit square? If you're confused, don't worry. A unit square is a square with a side length of 1 unit. It has an area of 1 square unit. So this is 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit all around. This is a unit square. Okay? How do we find area? So now that we know what unit squares are and that we use them to calculate how much area is covered, well, here's what we do to find area. First, we count the number of unit squares inside the shape. Here I've got this red shape and I've got to count the number of unit squares inside of it. I need to count these squares inside. While I'm doing that, I should tick the squares as each one is counted. This is so that you don't get confused. So I should make a little check mark inside each unit square that I count. And that's how I can find area. So I will count the number of unit squares inside the shape, and I will tick the squares as each one is counted. So let's find the area of this shape. Let's count together, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So what is the area of this shape? How much space does it take up? The area of this shape is 12 square units. Now let's find the area of this shape. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So the area of this shape is 16 square units. Now this one over here goes around like a little snaky shape, and all the numbers are already in there, and we've counted up to what number? What's our final number over here? What is the area? The area is 24 square units. And we can see that we've counted all the way from 1 until 24. And that's how we know the area is 24 square units. Now, I want you, after I finish explaining, to pause this video, and you are going to find the area of these shapes. You're going to count the squares. All right? And it's okay if some of them have the same area, because different shapes can have the same area if they take up the same number of unit squares. All right? So I want you to go ahead and pause the video, find the area for shape A, find the area for shape B, and find the area for shape C, and then unpause so that together we can see if you are correct. Alright, so now that you've unpaused the video, we'll go ahead to see if you are correct. Let's do one together first. Shape A looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you should have counted all of the squares inside the shape and ticked them off just like this. Alright, so shape A, the area is 10 square units. Shape B, the area is also 10 square units, and shape C also has an area of 10 square units. So all of these shapes took up 10 square units, they just are arranged differently, all right? So they have a different way of being formed, but the shapes take up the same area. All right, so let's review perimeter and area for a second, just so that we know the difference. When do I use area and perimeter? Let's go over perimeter. Let's remember perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. So if I want to use perimeter, maybe I'm putting a fence around the garden and I'm gluing a ribbon around a picture frame. These are two examples of when I will be using perimeter. Okay, this is when I need to know the distance around the outside of a shape. If I'm putting a fence around the garden, I need to know the distance around the outside. Now, if I'm gluing a ribbon around a picture frame, I also need to know the distance outside the picture frame. Area is the space inside a shape. Now, when do I use area? For example, if I'm painting a wall, I want to know the area of the wall so I can buy enough paint. Alright, and area, I can also use it when I am buying a rug for a room. I need to know if the rug takes up the amount of space I want. Is it the exact number of square units that I need? Alright, so this is when we use perimeter and when we use area. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape, and area is the space inside our shape. Okay, and at the end of the lesson, you can go ahead and do your class kick worksheet. There's also an answer key to self-assess. Make sure that you check out these online games and our lesson tutorials to make sure that you are clear on area. And as always, at the end of the lesson, we use an exit ticket to reflect on our learning. We can use the learning pit and ask ourselves, what did I learn today? How did I find it? And then we can also give our feedback to our teacher. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.